Hi, I'm Michael Gurganus.
Hi, nice to meet you. Have a seat.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's get started. First of all, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I am currently a junior at Temple University, and I'm studying finance. I had originally started out as a biology major, and I think that the most important thing that I've learned in my studies, and especially from my time as a biology major, was the importance of a strong work ethic, and I've tried to carry that into my jobs as well. As in my studies, it's important for me to be able to break things down and complete tasks incrementally so that I'm always able to be on top of my work. In high school, I had struggled with that mightily, and I was always running late, and it had never been a priority of mine to be ready for my classes because the classes were not as difficult. And when I got to Temple University, I had struggled initially in biology because the coursework was so much harder, and I hadn't built a very good skill set in organization and managing my time. So as I continue with my classes, I was able to continue and work towards becoming more prepared, and it's been able to carry through into my studies in finance, which has been excellent for me. And in my jobs, I currently work at Finish Line, and I'm a sales associate there. Finish Line is a shoe store that we sell shoes, and I make sure as I work that I try to do as much as I possibly can. I try to do the tasks that other sales associates won't do, and I try to do even some of the work of the managers to make their job easier. I find that it's very important to be able to do work outside of what you're expected, because not only does that help your view in the manager's eyes, but it also will help me long term as I try to progress in my career and build. And as a worker at Finish Line, I had initially started just as a way to get sales experience, but I thought it would only be a summer job. I was able to transfer into Philadelphia so that I could work during the semester, which has been great because it's allowed me to help build and save money, as well as give me more of an experience with a much wider demographic. As I started working at Finish Line, it was a suburban white area. I dealt with very little diversity. In Philadelphia, it's been completely different. I've dealt with very poor customers, and I've also dealt with very rich customers from the business sector. My experience has helped me a lot in learning how to speak to people from numerous backgrounds, and also to just be able to strike up familiarity and to be happy and feel good and talk to different people in a confident way, no matter what the situation. So that is what's most important for me, is simply being a good student and also carrying my values as a student into my jobs.
Okay, great. And can you tell me about a significant accomplishment in your life?
One of probably my most significant accomplishment overall was my ability to change from a biology major and try to find a major that made me much happier. When I initially started as a biology major, it was because I had gotten the concept of a doctor being this great profession. From from as young as I can remember, I had always planned on being a doctor. And I was not happy as a biology major. I was suffering from severe anxiety. My coursework was slipping as a result of it. And I was really struggling with my future and how I was going to get there. And as I thought about my future, I was really concerned that once I got into medical school, I would still be miserable and it would be too late. And so I decided to change after a year and a half, and I still had to continue and finish my final semester, my second semester of my sophomore year, as a biology major, despite the fact that I knew that I was going to make the change. So I had to continue to work as hard as I could, while also dealing with the fear and anxiety that comes with entering something new. And so the major issues that I had to tackle in that change were, first of all, dealing with the pressure of falling behind in my classwork and knowing that I would have to graduate later and incur greater financial difficulty on myself. But also, I was worried that I would disappoint my family. And my father is someone I look up to a lot, so I did not want him to look at the change as me quitting or giving up, but rather see it in my light, which was to find something that I'd be able to be happy in. And so I made a change to the School of Tourism and Hospitality Management, and my initial move was to become a sport management major. And that was because sports have been a major passion of mine all my life. And initially, I instantly got into a student professional organization and went out and got an internship in night sales with the Philadelphia 76ers. And it allowed me to realize that those were the things that I should have been doing as a biology major. And once I made a change into something that I truly enjoyed, I was able to instantly get involved and see the difference that it makes to be excited and to be motivated. And since then, I realized that my studies in sport management, what I was most interested in was the management side of it rather than the sports side of it. And despite the fact that I like sports, it was the business that I enjoyed. And my business classes really motivated me, and I loved learning about them. And I began reading the Wall Street Journal more than I ever had. And I am really in a place now where I feel motivated and confident. And tackling that change was something that I know even corporations struggle with. You could see recently, as Microsoft named Nadella its new CEO, there was a lot of apprehensiveness, and a lot of analysts, especially analysts in the business sector, believed that Nadella would not be able to bring the requisite change and innovation that was necessary to continue to make Microsoft a leading global player. But over time, and it's only been a few months, it seems like Nadella has Microsoft on the proper track. And I liken that to my situation a lot, because even though it seemed like making a change into sport management was not necessarily a challenging and excellent choice for me initially, it has allowed me to go on to study finance, and I'm really, really happy with my path, and I think that I now am on the correct track as well.
Okay, great. Can you tell me about something that you've learned in your coursework?
In my human resource management class, we learned about the importance of culture in establishing a corporation as successful, but also in making yourself happy in an environment and knowing the right culture that suits your needs that will allow you to be a good piece. And in my job experience, I've been able to look around and see very different cultures in my different positions. I was a sales associate, essentially, at Dunkin' Donuts, where I handled a lot of customer service, but I also dealt with customers that came in every morning. And the problem with Dunkin' Donuts was that the culture was very weak. The management was abrasive, and they had trouble relaying their goals to us in a way that made us feel inspired to work as hard as we could. And many people I actually witnessed walk out on the job because they would rather have no security than continue to work in that environment. I stuck with that company for 2 years despite how much I disliked it, because I always like to work as hard as I can. I like to impress my managers as much as I possibly can, and I like to show people, especially the people around me, that I'm willing to go above and beyond, because I feel that if as a sales associate I can't go above and beyond and inspire the people around me, I'll never be able to convince my managers that I can take on a management position. So Dunkin' Donuts gave me that perspective that I needed to continue to work hard and fight through something, but it also showed me that if you're not happy in that culture, you should begin to look elsewhere. And I did look elsewhere, and I found Finish Line, which is a strong culture, and I've had great success there because I've had a good relationship with my manager. He's empowered me to do the things on the sales floor that he would do himself, and for me to feel comfortable in any situation. And also, I have been able to see what it's like to have a really strong relationship with my assistant managers and my coworkers, which wasn't the case at Dunkin'. And then the strongest culture I had been a part of was with the Philadelphia 76ers night sales team, because the managers there gave us the full training that they would have given even their entry-level positions. And they were very nice, and they allowed us to email them or to call them about any issue, whether it be with school or in my internship. I believe that my cognitive competencies and my emotional competencies are two of the most important aspects of my personality. And my cognitive cultural intelligence comes from my ability to walk in and observe and learn very quickly. At Dunkin' Donuts and my other positions, I was instantly able to recognize what was expected and also what it was that made the workers more inspired and what it was that made the workers more apprehensive. And so I was able to insert myself into the team in a way where I could be an instant positive piece. And that plays into my emotional cultural intelligence, which deals with your ability to be self-confident and to be motivated. And my self-confidence is something that I really try to work on every day, because if you can walk into a room and somebody can know that you know what you're speaking about and that you're confident about what you're speaking about, they can feel much more comfortable with you and much more willing to listen to your suggestions and to feel like they are in the right hands. And that's one of the things I enjoy most about Finish Line is a lot of the times people just come in looking for a pair of shoes, but they don't know what it is. And I've gone out and done more research on the shoes that I sell just to make sure that at the end of the day, they're going to have the most comfortable and the best fit shoe that they could possibly have. And that's important to me. And my motivation is something that is always at the forefront of my actions. I'm motivated to continue to try to move up and to build on myself every day. And I do this by doing every single task I can and to try to get everything done timely and quickly and in a strong manner where my managers know that that I can be counted on. And so this has paid off because at Finish Line I have now put myself in a position to be promoted to assistant manager, and I'm in the training program with that now. And moving forward, I hope that is something that I can continue to work on and to continue to build myself as a professional.
Oh, okay, well, great. Thank you very much for coming in today, Mike. We'll be in touch.
Thank you very much.